RPI. Okay. So how do I find the RPI? Very simple, runs per innings. So how much scored runs Dhoni has scored, or first let's go to Ganguly. Ganguly has scored divided by that sum we have to do, divided by how many RPI, how many matches he has played. So if you want to find out how many matches he has played, I'll have to go to only Ganguly. That's it. These are the matches he'll be playing, because I told you in the beginning of the session that the information which has been provided to us is in the format of at the match level, right? Okay. All right. So what was the column name where we find out number of runs scored? Innings scored num. That is what I need here. So this is the RPI, runs per innings of Ganguly. I can compare it with statistical data, right? So what I'll do, RPI underscore Ganguly. That is what I'll do here. Same thing, I'll copy paste it for Dhoni. And this will become, of course, it will become Dhoni. This will again become Dhoni. And by the way, this is Ganguly. Correct. Okay. So once I have this information out, so RPI of Ganguly is this. Let's check out the RPI of Dhoni. It's 36, one run less than Ganguly. But Dhoni has fared pretty well, because initially during his career he was batting up the order, and later on stages he started batting in the lower order. But I think it's a pretty big achievement. Okay, so let's, once RPI is done, what was the next thing which you're looking into? Strike rate. So what will strike rate do? So next part is strike rate. How will I do strike rate? Strike rate is very interesting, very easy, right? What do I need? DF of the column name which has number of runs dot sum divided by DF of that number of balls faced. What balls he has particular faced, right? So which I would need this column out, divided by in runs scored. Again, the same thing I would need, divided by that particular player's name, how many balls he has faced. Let's see, balls faced, innings balls faced is the column name, right? And we have to add it, of course. So let's see. This is the strike rate of 73%, a strike rate of 73.65%. Now, so many decimal points, right? Let me just, round it off a bit. It will look good. Okay. Let me see if I can round it here itself. No, it will not work like that. Okay, cool. No problem. You can simply do np.round. See, this is when numpy comes in. Huh? np.round of this, comma 2 into, or I can say this into 100, 2. Why? Because I want to find out in terms of percentage, right? So I can say SR underscore Ganguly. Right? I can simply copy paste it for Dhoni. See how easy it is. It's not difficult at all, right? So once I have the Dhoni data frame with me, once I start building the code, it becomes even more easier and easier. So now the strike rate of Dhoni is around 87.13, right? 87.13. Now let's try to check the next thing which we are looking into. What was it? Hundreds and fifties. So I think this would be relatively easy. DF underscore Ganguly, right, will be the column name of what? See, hundreds, number of hundreds scored, right? So it will give you whether that person has scored 100 or not. You can see here there is already a quote here, so I have to make it double quote. Okay. All right. Dot sum, number of hundreds for Ganguly. Similarly, number of 50s for Ganguly. Same thing I'll do for Dhoni. When it comes to hundreds, you can see there's a significant difference between Dhoni and Ganguly. But when it comes to when it comes to your uh, 50s, it's almost comparable. It's almost, we can in fact compare both of them, right? Okay. All right. So I think the year which I've taken is 2019, which is fine. Okay, great. Huh. So now what was it? So we have already evaluated hundreds and fifties, right? Now it is relative SR. And that is going to be very interesting. Okay. Percentage contribution is also very simple. But let us go with relative SR first. Relative SR is very simple. Relative RPI SR, whatever you call it. SR I've already found out, right? So what I'll next do, I'll do this. Say start tree. I'll say hundreds and fifties. Okay. Once that is done, I'll do here relative as strike rate. Okay. All right. So once we have the related strike rate, how will we achieve it? So I already have the strike rate of Ganguly. Let me compare it with the other players. So I already have this. Now I need to compare with the other players. For how will I find out the other players' information? Very simple. I use the same logic which I done before. Right? I'll simply use same logic. Just that I'll say others. Okay, SR underscore Ganguly others. So it's not Ganguly but others, or I can simply say not Ganguly. So how will I do? DF will be of DF not Ganguly will come here now. Right? Okay. And once I do this, this will be my strike rate for other people. Similarly, I can do it for Dhoni also. I can do it for Dhoni as well. Not Dhoni. That's it. So now if you want to find out the relative SR of Ganguly, I'll do SR of Ganguly divided by SR of not Ganguly. Very simple. And I'll round it off because I know they give me a lot of decimal points, right? Okay. So once I have this, I can put it here. The same thing, I'll do it for Dhoni as well, right? Same thing I'll do for Dhoni. 1.07, this is 1.01. So almost very, very comparable data, right? Okay, it simply means that Ganguly's strike rate is 1.01 times, right? 1% more better than the other average strike rates of other players during his tenure, right? Dhoni wins almost 7%. 1.07 is what? 7%. 7% slightly higher than the strike rate of other players during his tenure, right? Average of the other players during his tenure. If you go to Virat Kohli and Sachin Tendulkar, this strike rate is way higher. Okay, we'll do that in the upcoming videos as well. It will be very interesting to compare. So now, once we do this, we will next go on to the fifth part, which is your RPI. So same thing which we'll do for RPI, right? So I'll set it as a homework for you guys. So if you can think about it, right? So relative RPI. Let's try to see whose is better. Okay. Now, contribution of runs. Now this is going to be interesting. Okay. How many runs that particular person has scored has to be compared with not simply other players, but players from that particular team only. Okay. So the players runs divided by the team runs. Indian team runs, right? So how will I do it? So what do I need first to do is I already have the information of runs scored by, Dhoni and Ganguly separately, right? So these are my runs scored by Dhoni and Ganguly. So I already have this information. Once I have that information, I can need to now find out the similar information, how much the team has scored, right? Of course, Ganguly will play for the Indian team only, right? I have to compare it respect to the Indian team. So how will I do that? So for that, I need to first find out the, you know, DF Ganguly from the DF Ganguly era data frame. I have to find out. Okay, what I'll do here is I will select the Indian team. So the country will be very important. So this is what I need. Okay, so once the country is extracted, I'll simply equate it with India. Again, guys, I have to make sure that it is during his era, because he has played this match, right? We'll basically treat that he has played those matches. Okay, and once we do that, okay, this is the players, his counterpart. See, Dhoni is also there during his time, because both of those eras were overlapping by 4 years or 3 years. So once this is done, I only need the innings run scored, right? Innings runs scored num. Once I do this, I do dot sum. So now this will also contain Ganguly's name, of course, because it's a team contribution, right? His score divided by the entire team, which will also include Ganguly as well. So now what I need to do, I need to divide both of them, right? So what I'll do, I'll call this as runs of Ganguly. I'll call this as runs team, and I'll simply let it be here itself, and I'll simply do runs Ganguly divided by runs team, and this will be my contribution. Again, it's percentage contribution. So what I'll do, np.round of 100 into this, comma. Let's look at the contribution now. So the person's contribution of Dhoni is around 10.84.